Okay, let's just sit for a moment and tune into ourselves, our body, our breath, see what our mind and our heart are up to, all of that good stuff. So find a comfortable, straight aligned spine in a seated position. Any position is fine. And once you feel aligned, take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big exhale through your mouth. Just let everything kind of settle. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, and just kind of notice in your body where you might feel a little bit tight or stiff today. Notice where you feel pretty pliable and open. And then start deepening the breath. If you can do a nice slow ujjayi breath, that would be my preference. But if you need to, just breathe deeply and fully. And then just notice your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and just take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice. When you're clear about your intention, take another deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Good. Let's just roll our shoulders back a couple of times. Good. Just kind of releasing neck, shoulders, and chest. We're going to be doing some really gentle heart opening today. A little bit different stuff. Nothing extreme. So let's go ahead and transition onto our hands and knees. And just begin with some cat-cows. So inhaling to arch and exhaling to round. And when you feel ready on your next exhale, go ahead and take a child's pose. And so I want you to kind of feel the space between your shoulder blades. When we talk about heart opening, we're usually talking about opening the chest, but we forget that there's a backside to our heart as well. So that's what you should be feeling here. We're going to kind of be playing with both of them. From here, let's go ahead and crawl forward into Sphinx. And of course, we're lengthening the spine here. That's our main purpose, is to traction out the low back. However, this is also a gentle heart opener, but it depends on what you're doing with your upper body. So obviously we're pulling with relaxed glutes to lengthen the spine. But if we pull the shoulders down the back and kind of pull the chest forward, letting the shoulder blades contract towards each other just a little bit, you'll also get some heart opening. And then let's lengthen out in downward facing dog. So press your tailbone up and back, just stretch. Take a couple of breaths here to lengthen. And then slowly walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Keep your knees bent, totally relax your neck. Take a couple of breaths hanging in ragdoll. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up. Reach the arms up and overhead, stretch up. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, stretch up. Lift the rib cage up slightly. If it feels okay, you're gonna just gently roll the rib cage back a little bit, or you can think of it as try to take the center of your chest towards the ceiling, but nothing too crazy, because I want you to hold it for another breath or two. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and slowly fold forward into your standing forward bend. Inhale and look up halfway, chest pulls forward. And then exhale, back down. So we'll go ahead and step back with the left leg. Nice big step back. Just hold your lunge for a moment. And then we're going to take the right hand towards the ceiling. Please feel free to drop that left knee if you need to here. We're going to in a moment anyway. But if you can keep it up, that's cool too. We're going to just kind of see if we can maybe rotate the chest a little towards the ceiling. The right arm reaches back just a little. Right hand comes back down. Drop your left knee. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg. We want to make sure we don't neglect our hamstrings. Chest even here is pulling forward a little bit. Right leg is as straight as you can get it. Right ankle is flexed. Bend your right knee and bring your arms up and overhead. Tuck your tailbone under. Lift your chest, let the hips move forward until you feel this in the front of your left hip. Remember, pay attention to your back and only do what feels good. You don't have to do any of this stuff if it doesn't feel good in your body. If you're okay with it, we'll slightly raise the rib cage up, just like what we did when we were standing at the front of the mat. And maybe roll the rib cage back a little bit. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Take one more breath here. And then we're just going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and still kind of maybe roll the chest up towards the ceiling. That means your arms will be down. Your hands might be underneath your left buttock, or they can be in the air. Take one more breath. Bring your hands down and take your right knee back to meet your left knee. Give yourself a little tail wag. And then those of you doing vinyasas can step into plank. The rest of us are going to take a child's pose, but we'll all kind of progress from there. So if you're hardcore vinyasa, you're holding plank for me right now. If you are in plank, you're going to drop down knees, chest, and chin. If you are in child's pose, I'd like you to turn your toes under for me. Walk your hands forward a little bit, and then keep your bum in the air, and take your chest and your chin to the floor. This is 7-limb staff pose. So if you can, we're all going to do this. And if you can't do it, you lower all the way to your belly. If you are in 7-limb staff, elbows squeeze into the body, shoulders pull down the back. This is a heart opener. Untuck the toes, flatten the pelvis out, barely lift your chest, baby cobra, pull the shoulders down and back, pull your heart forward. Downward facing dog. Just stretch. And then we're going to take a big step forward with our left foot. Hold the lunge for a moment. Again, feel free to drop your right knee if that's better for you. Otherwise, from here, we'll just take the left hand up towards the ceiling. And then maybe, see what it feels like to roll the chest open a little. Left hand and right knee come down, and we extend the left leg, flex the left foot to get into our hamstring. Chest is still pulling forward. And then you're gonna bend your left knee. Bring the arms up and overhead. Tilt your pelvis back. Let those hips move forward. Find the stretch on the front of your right hip. And then if it feels okay, lift the rib cage a little and maybe roll it back slightly. And then interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Still perhaps rolling the rib cage up towards the ceiling, which means your hands might be down below your right glute. They might be in the air if you're upright. Either one is fine. Hands to the mat. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Maybe even reach back a little bit. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So from here, we're going to transition into a warrior one. I'd like you to step your left leg back, get the heel flat, adjust your feet if you need to. Try and get your hips to rotate forward. And go ahead and bring the arms up and overhead. So your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent, traditional warrior one. Maybe from this position, lift the rib cage and roll it back slightly. Allow your arms to come out to the side with the palms facing up. Just kind of reach your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Again, this time we want to lift the arms if possible and fold forward, taking your right shoulder to the top of your right thigh, relaxing your neck, reaching those arms up and overhead. This is humble warrior. Come on up from that. Bring the arms in front of you with your palms facing down. Take the right arm on bottom, left arm on top, and see if you can wrap your arms and get the palms of the hands together. So it's the upper body part of eagle pose. Shoulders pull down, elbows lift up and push forward. Remember, we're also opening the back of the heart. So you should feel this between your shoulder blades. Now, if you can, you're going to go ahead and just lift off and take your left thigh tightly over your right. If you need to, that left foot can slide down and touch the floor like a kickstand. Squeeze your thighs, breathe. And then just unwind. Left foot comes beside right foot. Unwind the arms, roll your shoulders back. Now we're going to step the right leg back. Left foot forward. Again, adjust your feet as you need to. We're coming into warrior one on this side. So try and get right leg straight. Pelvis is tilted as much as you can. The arms are up and overhead. Maybe the rib cage rolls back a little. And then just let the arms come out to the side, palms facing up. Kind of reach those thumbs back. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the arms if you can. Fold forward. See if you can get your left shoulder to the top of your left thigh. Relax your neck. Reach those arms up and overhead. Come all the way back up. Release the arms so they're in front of you, palms facing down. This time the left arm is on bottom, the right arm is on top. Wrap them if you can. Shoulders pull down, elbows lift up and push forward, opening up the back side of the heart. And then if you can, lift off for the full balance pose, Godasana. Right thigh tightly crosses left, tailbone drops. Heart is lifting. If you need to, right foot can be on the ground to help you balance. Unwind everything. Feet together, palms together. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the hands and knees. My vinyasa people can go ahead and take a plank and hold plank. My child's pose people can take a child's pose and take a breath in between the shoulder blades. Those of you in plank, lower all the way down to your belly, and those of you in child's pose, scoot forward onto your stomach. And I want you to just cross your forearms in front of you and let your forehead rest on your crossed forearms. Keep your pelvis flat on the floor, no rolling. So kind of pushing the pubic bone into the floor. I'd like you to just lift your right leg only. Bring that right leg back down. Lift your left leg only. And lower the left leg down. Now we're going to bring the hands out to the sides. So our hands are kind of just out from our shoulders. Elbows are bent. And I'd like you to just gently, be mindful here, just lift your chest and your arms. So both feet stay down. And I want you in this position because I want you to kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take one more breath here. Lower yourself back down. Take a breath. And then if you can, you're going to interlace your fingers behind your back. I want you to keep your feet on the ground, please. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and just see if you can slide your hands underneath your backside. So just the upper chest is lifting. And then release and move into downward facing dog. Stretch. Walk your feet forward. Standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Now, I know you've already balanced, but we're not done. We're going to do dancer pose, but here's the good news. Today, I don't care if you grab the outside or the inside of the foot. It doesn't matter. We're just going to focus on pressing the leg back to get the front of the shoulder and chest to open. So today, it doesn't even matter if you lean or not. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It just matters that you're using your leg strength to push back to get the chest to open. Let's stand on the left foot first. Bring your left arm up in the air. If you can, reach back through your right foot or ankle. Now, all I want you to do is lift your chest and just push your leg behind you and actually push into your right hand as you reach that leg back until you start to feel this on the front of your right shoulder. Now, if you want to lean into it, that's fine, but don't feel obligated. I want you to feel the stretch on the front of your right shoulder, right side of the chest. Using leg strength. Come all the way back up, release, and roll your shoulders back. So in the hot yoga tradition, this is actually called standing bow. And the reason we're doing this is because you're going to be doing a half bow on your stomach in a moment. And this is very useful. So stand on your right foot. Take your right arm straight up in the air. Left hand reaches back to the left foot or ankle. Tuck your tailbone under and lift your chest. And then just use leg strength. Left leg is pushing back. You're pushing your foot or ankle into your left hand. allowing front of the left shoulder and left side of the chest to open. Come all the way back up. Release your left foot down, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Reach back, perhaps. Exhale, fold all the way forward, standing forward, bend. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, back down. So I want you to come back onto your hands and knees. And we're kind of going to transition into a position from all fours. So the first thing you're going to do is kick just your right foot out, just like we're doing a modified side plank. In fact, that's where we're going to start. So your right foot kicks out to kind of give you a tripod. Left leg extends with the left foot flat, left hand to the ceiling. Then I need you to lift your left leg into the air parallel to the floor. And if you need to, you can readjust that right foot. Now, left knee bends. If you're able, left hand grabs that left foot. Same thing you did in dancer pose. You push that left leg back to open up. Left shoulder, left side of the chest. Take one more breath. Bring it all back down, hands and knees. Kick your left foot out to the left. Right leg extends with your right foot flat, right hand towards the ceiling. Raise your right leg parallel to the ground. Adjust the left foot for balance if you need to. Bend your right knee. Grab your right foot or ankle, and then use your leg strength. Press, press, press with that right foot or ankle to open up right side of the shoulder. Excellent. Come all the way back down. Wag your tail. Let's take a downward facing dog. Stretch. And then I'd like you to go ahead and find your way onto your stomach, however it is comfortable for you to get there. We're going to extend arms over our heads on the floor, right? So our arms are out in front of us. So first, we're going to do a half locust. What I'd like you to do is keep your left hand and your left foot on the ground. And as much as you comfortably can, raise your right arm and your right leg. Bring it back down. Keep your right hand and your right foot on the ground. Raise your left arm and your left leg. And bring it back down. Now what we're going to do, and this is all within reason, so half bow, Ardha Dhanurasana. If you cannot clasp your foot behind your back, you can do what we just did. You can do half locust. But if you're able, we're going to keep the left hand and left foot on the ground. But we're going to reach back with our right hand and grab the right foot or ankle and use our leg strength to lift and open up this right shoulder. Bring it all back down. Right arm and right leg extend. If you can, you reach back with your left hand for your left foot or ankle. And again, you're pushing with your leg. You're using your leg strength to press back and open up the front of your left shoulder. Release out of that. Bring your forearms in front of you again, like we did earlier, and let your forehead rest on your forearms. But I have a treat for you now. You're going to take your knees, or your legs, I should say, wide. So not crazy wide, but I kind of aim my knees for the outer edges of my mat. Bend your knees now. So your knees are far apart. Your feet are pointing up towards the ceiling. Be gentle here, but just kind of let your feet drop one direction and then the other. So this is going to make your low back happy. You're just dropping both feet one side, bringing them up and dropping them the other way. Do this a couple more times on each side. And then bring the legs all the way back together. Bring your hands under your shoulders. See if you can press up into just a baby cobra. Shoulders down the back, chest pulling forward. And then downward facing dog. And stretch, 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 stretch. Walk your feet forward. Standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe even reach back. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Turn sideways on your mat. Take a nice wide side step with your toes pointing directly forward. And again, interlacing fingers behind the back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Just hinge at your hips, relax your neck, and just start to let those arms reach up and over your head, as though you're going to put your little fingers on the floor. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together so that the heart opens. And then release your hands down to the mat. And if you need to, you can use a block, or if you need to, take your legs wider. I'd like you to keep your hips back over your heels. Don't let your hips go forward. Just let your arms reach forward. And if it feels okay, allow your chest to kind of sink here. It's sort of like a wide-legged down dog, except your heart is opening because you're allowing the chest to sink. Take a couple breaths. Walk your hands back onto the mat. Toe, heel the feet together. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, come back to the front of the mat with the feet together and the palms together in front of your heart. Reach up, maybe reach back. And fold forward as you breathe out. Look up halfway. And then back down. We're going to step back onto our hands and knees. And come back into those cat-cows, arching and rounding the back, noticing any difference in how things are feeling right now. Vinyasa friends, you may take one last one your way. And child's pose friends, follow me into a nice rounded back child's pose where you can breathe into the space between the shoulder blades, back side of the heart. Scoot forward into Sphinx. Lengthen the spine and open the heart all at the same time. And then downward facing dog. Really stretch your spine in your down dog. And then drop to your knees. We're going to open the back side of the heart one more time before we move into our seated positions. So we're just going to come into really like normal, no frills, threading the needle. Right arm goes underneath you. Left hand stays where it's at so that we can just push and roll into that right shoulder blade area. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then come on out of that. And just take your left arm underneath you. Keep the right hand where it is. Push and roll. Get a little extra stretch behind your left shoulder blade. Come on out of that, wag your tail. And then all you're gonna do is just transition into a cross-legged position, seated. Just easy cross-legged. So I want you to, I'm not gonna mirror you today, my apologies. I want you to put your right hand on the ground. And you don't have to slide it way out. You just want it as a stabilizer, basically. Right hand on the ground, left hip stays planted though. I want you to take your left hand behind your head, and you're gonna kind of roll your chest open towards the ceiling. So your left elbow is reaching back and kind of up at the same time. You should feel left side of your chest stretching along with the left side of your torso. Take one more breath here. And then just allow that left arm to extend and come all the way behind you, right hand on the left knee, for a gentle twist to the left. Once you feel like you've gotten a good twist, see if you can move your left hand a little farther behind you and maybe start to feel a little stretch on the front of your left shoulder. Come back around to the front. If you can, switch to the crossing of the legs. Now we'll put the left hand on the floor just for stability. Right hand reaches, so you put your right hand on the back of your head. Right elbow reaches up to the ceiling and back a little bit. So you're stretching out the right side of your torso, but you're also really stretching out right side of the chest. And then we allow that right arm to extend and just reach way behind us. Left hand on the right knee. Coming into a gentle twist to the right. When you feel like you've gone as far to the right as you can, see if you can sneak your right hand a little farther behind you and get some stretch on the front of the right shoulder. Come back around, bring the soles of your feet together. Grab your toes for a moment and just kind of lean forward. Take a breath here, see what your body will allow, what it will agree to. And then you decide. You're either going to stay there with your hands on your feet, or if you can, you're going to come up and interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and fold forward over your feet. If you have your fingers interlaced, keep them like that. Come back up. Just extend the legs nice and wide. Flex your ankles, keeping fingers interlaced. See if you can push your chest forward a little. And then come on up from that. Release the arms, roll your shoulders back. Just help your legs together. Make sure you're still on your sit bones. And you're just going to gently lean out over both legs. And so today, if you feel like you'd like to round over your legs, please do. It's fine. Just make sure that whatever you're doing feels good in your back and that you're feeling a little bit of a stretch on the back side of your heart, which means between your shoulder blades. Come on up from that, and we will all prepare for just a modified version of fish pose. So just to make sure that nobody's neck gets tweaked, we're all going to do the modified version. I'd like you to just barely tuck your fingertips underneath your bum. Kind of squeeze the elbows together. You'll notice that makes your shoulder blades go together, and you're going to lean back onto your forearms, elbows. Lift your chest up really strongly. If it's okay with your neck, you're either looking at the ceiling or allowing the head to drop back. If you need to, you can just keep your head so that you're gazing at your feet, but the chest is lifting skyward here. Now, only if you have a happy low back and a strong core, if you like, you can raise your straight legs here. Take a couple more breaths. Lower those legs back down. Untuck your hands. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. So we're going to do a little bit of a dynamic chest opener that looks like a twist, but it isn't really, and we'll get to the twist. So what I'd like you to do is keep your knees bent and together, but you're going to roll all the way over onto your right side. Your knees should be stacked and together and on the ground. Your arms are extended in front of you, so your right arm is all the way onto the floor. Palms are together. We are going to stay in this position, meaning nothing moves except the arm and the chest. Like your knees are going to stay stacked, nothing changes. And this is dynamic in that we're going to move back and forth into this with our breath. So where you're at right now with your palms touching, I want you to exhale. As you inhale, take your left arm behind you, palm up. And then exhale and bring it back in. So when you're inhaling, your arm is reaching back and you'll feel more of a stretch. Inhale, left arm reaches behind you. Exhale, left arm comes back to join right. We keep our knees together and grounded. Don't let your lower body shift. Inhale, left arm reaches behind you. Exhale, bring it back together. 3 more for me at your own breath rate. Now, as you finish that last one out, just roll onto your back. You're welcome to hug your knees if you like. And then we'll just roll on over onto our left side. Remember, you want to be all the way over on your side. Your knees are bent. Your knees are together. Very important. Your arms are extended. Palms are touching. We inhale and reach that right arm back. We exhale and bring it back in front of us. Inhale, reach it back. Palm is up, knees are staying together. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right arm reaches back behind us. We feel the stretch in the shoulder. Exhale, bring it back together. 3 more of those at your breath rate. As you finish your last one, go ahead and roll onto your back again. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. So next up, we're going to do bridge pose. And I know everybody's a little bit different. And so you might be in bridge pose and then just hugging your knees in. Or if you have the capacity, we're going to do bridge pose followed by plow pose, or at least something similar. So please protect your neck, protect your back, and just kind of pay attention to your body. Everything is okay as far as what you need to do to keep yourself happy and healthy. So if you can, your big toes are going to touch and your heels are going to separate. Start with your palms down, really close to your hips. Even if you don't interlace your fingers underneath, you can kind of roll the shoulder blades together. So that's where we're going with this. Let's go ahead and lift the tailbone and the lumbar spine, however much we can. Some of you guys will be able to actually interlace your fingers, keep the arms straight and press the arms into the mat. If you can't, just kind of fold your wings up, so to speak. Let your shoulder blades come together. And then I want you to really lift your chest, lift your rib cage, like you're trying to put the bottom of your rib cage on the ceiling, and take a couple more super deep breaths here. Lower down. Now, some of you guys are just going to hug your knees in and rock side to side, and that's perfect. Some of you, if you feel like you can, you're going to take your legs up and overhead now so that you can stretch the back side of the heart. Just take a couple of breaths. And if you're not in plow pose, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're all going to come back down, hugging the knees into the chest. So we're going to keep the right knee hugged in and extend the left leg all the way out onto the ground. Hug your right knee in deeply. So winter leaving pose. And if you can, interlace your fingers over your right shin, or if you need to, it can be behind the right thigh. And what I'd like you to do is start pushing your right knee away from the torso until your arms are straight. And then push just a tiny bit more until you feel your upper back lift off the mat, but the back of the head is still on. So you're stretching your upper back. Last time we're going to stretch the back side of the heart. Take one more breath here. Hug the right knee in deeply again. Now we'll transition this into a twist. You can either just let your right leg flop over, or you can hook the toes of the right foot inside the left knee or thigh. Your right arm's going to open out to the right. If you can, your head is going to turn to the right, and you're going to twist yourself to the left. See if you can feel a little bit of stretch on the right side of the chest. And that's controlled by how much we pull the right knee across us. If your right knee is on the floor, then you're as far as you can go. But if it's not, you've got a little bit of leeway here. You can play with that and see how much stretch you want to feel. On your next inhale, come on up. Exhale, hug your right knee in, and then let's bring the left knee up to meet it. Please feel free to rock side to side if you like that. I always like it. Hug your left knee in and extend your right leg all the way out onto the ground. So we hug the left knee in deeply, and you can go ahead and interlace your fingers over your shin. And then begin to press your left knee away from your torso till the arms are straight. Once the arms are straight, we go just a little farther. Not so much that your head comes up off the mat, but the upper back should be off the mat. You're getting one last little back of the heart stretch here. And let's hug the left knee all the way back in again. And transition into our twist to the right. So you can either just let your left leg come across your body, or you can hook the left toes inside that right knee or thigh. Either way, you're twisting to the right, your left arm is opening out to the left, head is turning to the left, and you're trying to see if you can find a little bit of stretch in the left shoulder, left side of the chest. If you're not feeling anything there, but your left knee is not on the floor, then you're missing an opportunity. Start pulling that left knee a little closer to the floor. See if you can get your left shoulder blade to pop up, and you'll feel something in the left side of the chest. On your next inhale, come on back up, and as you exhale, hug your left knee in deeply. Bring your right knee up to meet it. We're going to keep the knees together and actually put our hands directly on top of the kneecaps. Knees stay together, and it's like we're trying to draw big circles in the air with our knees. So just do 3 or 4 circles in each direction. This should make your low back feel pretty good. When you're ready, change directions. And then go ahead and reach down and grab your feet and happy baby. So we focused on our upper body a little bit today, the heart in particular, front and back sides. So your legs did get some work, but it was minimal. So just kind of feel your way through whatever little movements you need here to make things feel more complete. And then when you do feel like you're ready, feet flat on the mat, ankles and knees together. We're doing those nice little gentle breath-centered hip rolls. So as you exhale, both knees drop to one side. As you inhale, they come back up. As you exhale, they drop the other way. Just nice, slow, deep breathing so that you have this slow, fluid movement that coordinates with your breath. So when you feel even, or the next time the knees come back up to the center, allow your knees to drop open with the soles of the feet together. Just allow your knees to just be relaxed open. I'd like you to bring your arms along the floor over your head. Interlace your fingers, but extend your index fingers. On your next inhale, reach through the tips of the index fingers really strongly. Press your knees down. You'll feel your rib cage lift. It's your final little baby heart opener. Take 2 breaths here. And then as you exhale, release the tension in your body, release your fingers. Allow your hands to come down below your shoulders, palms facing up. Keep the soles of the feet together. And on your next inhale, press your low back into the mat. So you're tilting your pelvis back. You're removing the natural arch or curve in your low back. The next time you breathe out, go ahead and relax completely, and you'll feel the arch in your low back return. One more time, inhale, press your low back into the mat so it feels really flat against the floor, and then exhale, release. Begin to extend your legs, separate your feet, do any wiggling or lengthening or adjusting that you need to do to be perfectly comfortable so that you can surrender into Shavasana. Once you feel like you're there, take a deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. And just completely surrender. So this energy of surrender in Shavasana really is based around trust and faith. Right now, you trust the floor to hold you up and gravity to hold you down. So you can surrender all of your muscular tension and effort. You have faith or trust in your autonomic nervous system to breathe for you, even if you're not watching it. So you feel safe enough to surrender control of the breath. And you can surrender into the present moment, into this moment, because you can trust that the past is done. Like whatever lessons needed to happen, happened. The past is over. There's no need to revisit it. And the future, we don't even know what that is. So we can trust that the future will take care of itself, that the past is already taken care of. And so we can simply surrender into the moment and just be right here, right now. When we can reach that level of trust, of faith, then we can certainly feel at a truly cellular and energetic level that we are safe, that we are cared for, that everything is okay and will be okay. And that's the trust or the faith that allows us to completely surrender in Shavasana. So for the next couple of minutes, I want you to just allow yourself to be present, allow yourself to feel that you are safe, that you are cared for, that everything is okay and will be okay. Start feeling into your body, just noticing how you feel physically. How does it make you feel physically to know that you can relax because you're not going anywhere? Like, how does your body feel knowing it's safe and cared for? Notice any thoughts that you have around this. Notice any emotions that you have around the knowledge of being safe and cared for. And then notice how that affects your energy, what your energy is like right now. And then start to move your fingers and toes. Start to deepen your breath. Take that extra deep inhale to spread the fingers and toes. Exhale to relax them. Deeper inhale to stretch arms and legs. And exhale to relax. Bend your knees. Go ahead and roll to your right side. And then press yourself up into sitting. So as you come back to your comfortable seated position, just pause for a moment and notice how this body right now, right here, feels compared to that same body an hour ago. If anything has changed, fantastic. If it hasn't, that's okay too. And so for our pranayama, our breath work, We're going to do a left nostril inhale with our right nostril exhale. Every single breath, you're going to inhale on the left side. Every single breath, you're going to exhale on the right side. I'd like you to use your right hand to block the nostrils. So if you can, Vishnu Mudra is to take the first two fingers of your right hand and tuck it under the pad of the thumb. And then those two fingers literally rest under your nostrils. So ring and pinky finger block left, thumb blocks right. Now, if that feels awkward, those first two fingers can rest in the center of your forehead. And still, ring and pinky finger of the right hand block your left nostril, right thumb blocks the right. So inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right every single time. And just in case that's not enough to remember, I would love for you to do this as a 1-to-2 ratio breath. So whatever you inhale through your left nostril, you will exhale twice as long through the right if you can. Left hand can either be palm up or palm down on your knee or thigh. And of course, you're welcome to do any kind of mudra if you feel called to. So let's take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. And then inhaling through the left with exhale twice as long through the right every breath. Finish off the breath you're on, and as you do, just allow that right hand to rest down for a moment. And take one more opportunity to really feel into that beautiful element of trust that you are safe, that you are cared for, that everything is okay and will be okay. Bring your palms together in front of your heart, and we'll pause for a moment in gratitude for exactly that we are safe, that everything is okay, and it will be okay, and we are cared for. And then take a moment in gratitude for this practice that helps keep us focused on the here and now, that keeps us present, that keeps us healthy. Take one more deep breath in. Big exhale. Palms to the forehead, reminding us to be present. I'm so sorry. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. Palms to the heart. My apologies for my cats present to the class. Palms to the heart, reminding us to keep an open heart, to always practice kindness and compassion and love. Namaste.